What's up? So today, guys, we're going to be ranking all 10 battle passes of Fortnite from worst to best. Now, this is going to be a very difficult list, and I want to try to make it as objective as possible. So all of us right now with me, we're going to have to take our nostalgia glasses off. And more so than that, we're going to have to take our hard to swallow pills. Just because it was your first battle pass doesn't mean it's good. But in all seriousness, I do want to try to make this video as objective as we can. I mean, obviously my own preferences and personal opinions on skins is going to play a role, but I'm gonna try to do my best to make this video based off of just the sheer look and quality of the skins within the battle pass, and also give some bonus points for innovation where it arises. Anyways, before we do get into it, there are some crazy sub purges going on right now, so I may be at 0 subscribers at the time of recording this. It hasn't quite hit, so if you guys could please subscribe to the channel and help me get past 8 subscribers, that would be awesome. And let's get into it. All right, coming in at number 10, the worst battle pass to ever grace Fortnite. This is going to be Season 9. So overall, if I had to say what's wrong with Season 9, I would say mediocre skins and really just a lack of overall innovation. Now, seeing how late this is into the battle passes, I don't really put any pressure on Epic to make any more crazy innovations, but it is still something that you gotta factor. Again, innovation is more like bonus points, so they don't get anything to start with. But that said, let's take a look at the skins. Starting off, we've got Vendetta, which I really think is unanimously considered to be one of the worst tier 100 skins ever. Just boring. We've got Vega, just an overall very boring skin. Stratus, also boring. And then Sentinel, which I just think is overall not very great at all. And then there's no other peripheral cosmetics that are exciting other than dual wield pickaxes, which was the big innovation for this season, which I would consider to be not that big at all. But where this battle pass really goes wrong is it doesn't even have one of those standout amazing skins. Now, Demi is one of my favorite skins of all time, just on personal preference, but I can't really make an argument that she's one of the greats. She's just a robot chick in a red dress. Like, it's not that special. You've got Bunker Jonesy, which is all right, and then Rox, which is probably the standout skin of the season. Rox is actually really dope. I really like her. I really like what they were going for. I like all the different variant styles of her. But she just didn't land. She didn't hit that mark. You know, there's just some battle pass skins that just nail it. And this one really just didn't seem to take hold with the community. I like Rox, but she's not even considered in the top 30 for all-time skins. So no bonus points there. Overall, Season 9 had very little innovation and nothing special to really highlight it. It did have Holographic, one of the best winners umbrellas of all time. But when that's your flagship item for a battle pass, it's a pretty weak battle pass. Now, moving on to number 9, we have Season 7. So Season 7 suffers a similar fate as 9, having very few interesting skins. Okay, so we've got Trog, Onesie, Powder, Sergeant Winter, and Zenith, all some of the most lackluster skins to ever grace the battle pass. Now, the tier 100 skin, the Ice King, is all right, but he didn't have any real variation with his styles other than just simple color changes. So that feels a little simplistic to me too. Now, there were wraps added in this season, which I gotta give points to. It's probably one of my favorite post-season 5 innovations that we've seen. But there's really one saving grace to Season 7, and that's Lynx. Easy top...
Why you bullying me?
I would say easy top 20 skin to ever be introduced into Fortnite, and really probably one of the best we've ever seen in any battle pass. Her final form is really the only good one, but it's so good that I think it is redeeming enough to make it not the worst battle pass ever. If it wasn't for Lynx though, 7 would be the worst. Now, moving on to our number 8 spot, we have Season 6. Overall, I would say that Season 6 shares a very similar fate to 7. Try saying that 10 times fast. So some of the less exciting skins included Fable, Dusk, Giddy Up, Yonder, and Nightshade. Fable and Dusk were all right, but the other ones are just pure memes at this point. Now, the innovations for Season 6 were music and pets. Pets were a pretty big failure, but the addition of customizable music was a great one. So the tier 100 skin for this season was Dire. Overall, Dire is another tier 100 skin that usually gets put in the lower section of rankings, but he's not terrible. I think the thing that redeems Dire is just how perfect he is as a progressive skin. There is no better use of any tier 100 skin than this guy. Every single progression is him turning a little bit more and more into a werewolf until he just gets a few different selectable styles. Despite general dislike for Dire, I gotta give points to just how cool that is. But on top of that, there are two other cosmetics that redeem Season 6 in a huge way. The first being Calamity. Again, probably one of the best Battle Pass skins we've ever seen. Unlike Lynx though, you can use her baseline version as a cool looking, sleek, and simple skin, but you can also go all out and just make her look like an absolute badass. She's great. I really like Calamity to this day. But then the other, and I would say even more notably cosmetic that came with this Battle Pass was Wolfpack. Just one of the greatest back blings we've ever seen in Fortnite. It goes well with almost everything, and it's a ninja sword. What more do you want? Now, moving on to number 7, we've got Chapter 2, Season 1. So this was a really tough placement as it's so new and it's a little bit different. Now, this chapter really didn't have any new innovation at all, but the one thing that they did have is a lot of skins. Basically, every skin has a very different counterpart to it. So I would like to say that instead of there being 7 skins, there's actually like 14, but that's not really the case. Instead of 7 being 14, it's more like 7 is 9 and a few other of them have selectable styles. Still though, it does feel like there's more skins in this battle pass than previous. Objectively speaking, Cameo, Turk, 8-Ball, and Journey are all pretty blah skins. Despite me really liking Remedy, she is just a medic, which is really nothing new, exciting, creative, or original at all. Again, I'm trying to step away from my own personal preferences. Ripley is trying to be the mascot for Chapter 2, but there's no way he's going to stand up to the Titan that is Peely. And then lastly, we've got Fusion, the tier 100 skin. Now, Fusion definitely adds a lot to this battle pass. I gotta say, he's easy top 5 for tier 100 skins. So that's another spot where this battle pass really gets some points. Overall, this was a tough placement because it's so new, but I would say the reason that this one beats the other ones out is generally, there's no terrible skins in this battle pass. Nothing that I absolutely hate yet, and there's more skins than the average battle pass, so that gets it a few extra bonus points. Now moving on to number 6, we have Chapter 8. Probably the chapter you were expecting to be the lowest spot on this list. Now, I will be the first to admit that Chapter 8 did nothing special. It truly is a steaming pile of mediocrity. That said, it really didn't do anything bad, and most of the skins are at least average. So first off, this season did have Peely, which whether you like him or not, you gotta admit, he has become a mascot of Fortnite. And considering this was Season 8, that is really impressive. We've also got Ember, which I think is overall an actually very cool skin. There's Blackheart, which was a skin that's never loved, but is actually pretty solid with all kinds of different selectable styles. Sidewinder, the female Indiana Jones, is absolutely fine. Hybrid's lizard form is a little bit whack, but the baseline ninja version is not terrible, but I wouldn't say great. And Master Key really isn't that bad of a skin either. It's basically Peely and a lot of average skins. But the big place where Season 8 went wrong is Lux. Everybody hates Season 8 because the tier 100 skin was so boring. And I would like to propose an argument. If they had just swapped Blackheart, the tier 1 pirate guy, with Lux, it would be a much better battle pass. It would put way more emphasis and focus on Blackheart, which I think is actually an underrated skin that can actually rise to the occasion of a tier 100 and take the pressure off of the very boring Lux. So overall, Season 8 gets absolutely no points for innovation and isn't really one of the greatest battle passes, but I don't think it did anything particularly wrong other than the placement of Lux. So for that reason, it's really not that bad. Now moving on to number 5. It's Season 4. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I had to take like 8 of these to put this here, but accept it. Season 4 is not that good of a battle pass. What an unimportant thing to say in the grand scheme of life, I know, but like, it's so overrated. You'd think I was talking about an actually important topic. Anyways, let's get into this. Season 4 has a lot of really bad skins. So we've got Carbide. Boring. Very, very boring. Just a copy of another much better skin. Technique. All right. Battlehawk is basically a default skin. Zoe is trash, and Valor has a unibrow. So all that leaves us with skins is Squad Leader, which I would say is like a 6.5 out of 10 at best, and Omega, which is probably a top 5 skin of all time, and really the biggest redeeming quality of this season. Oh, right, and I am forgetting a few other things. There's the introduction of progressive skins in the Battle Pass. Okay, that gets some bonus points. Sprays were added in, but nobody cares about sprays. And then you have 3 of the most iconic dances ever added into Fortnite: Hype, Groove Jam, and the legendary Orange Justice. So season 4 is very hit or miss. Some of the most boring and just non-special skins we've ever seen added into a battle pass, but also some of the greatest cosmetics ever. Basically, the battle pass is Omega with 3 really classic dances, and the introduction of progressive skins, which is a really big deal. So enough to take it into the top 5, but not near enough to place it at number 1, like so many of you ridiculous people do. Season 4 is fine, but once you take these bad boys off, it's really not that great. I don't know how these got back onto me again, but moving on to our number 4 spots, it's Season 3. Season 3 is just as guilty as Season 4 of being overrated. So some of the less than exciting skins in Season 3 include Rustlord, Mission Specialist, and Moonwalker. Yeah, you never rock those skins, do ya? Okay, fair enough. We've got 3 other actually really great skins. We've got the Elite Agent, something you see all the time. Super clean, super nice. I do like that, along with Dark Voyager, an old classic. And then the original John Wick, which did lose a bit of its hype because of the new John Wick, but I think we need to respect it for what it once was. Not in terms of nostalgia, but just simply, I mean, it was a huge deal at the time that it was John Wick in Fortnite. Season 3 also added contrails, custom loading screens, and of course, the infamous back bling. Yeah, back bling, that's a pretty big innovation, I gotta be honest. Overall, the reason I would say Season 3 is slightly better than 4 is I think it just has a little bit more variance. I mean, Season 4 really only has Omega for skins, and at least Season 3 has like a few exciting ones. None of them are the greatest skins of all time, but they are all pretty good. Plus back blings. So that's really it. I think Season 3 and Season 4 are probably the 2 most overrated battle passes we've ever seen in the game, though. Anyways, moving on to our number 3 spot. Definitely not a nostalgic pick here. We actually have Season 10. So Season 10 is gonna get like knocked 8 pegs down because really it's just a rehash of all the previous battle passes. So despite losing points there, it's honestly such a great battle pass that I think it deserves the number 3 spot. Now, Season 10 was a terrible season, and a lot of you guys probably didn't even play this one to appreciate actually how good this battle pass was. There's not a bad skin in this battle pass. I mean, again, because it's all old classics, but still. You've got X-Lord, Sparkle Supreme, Yonder, Eternal Voyager, Catalyst. Oh my goodness. The only skins I don't really love in this are Tilted Technique, which I just don't think is all that exciting, and the Tier 100 Ultima Knight. Other than that, though, I think every skin in this battle pass did an amazing job of taking an original idea and completely innovating it. I mean, the Eternal Voyager and Catalyst are incredible. On top of that, you've got some peripheral cosmetics like the Sparkle Scythe, the Steelwing Glider, the Pixel Pilot Glider, and not to mention the OG classic music. For a season that was truly awful, I gotta say, it was a really good battle pass. And if you want to base this video purely on the value that you would get for those 950 V-Bucks, look no further than the Season 10 battle pass. But of course, it does lose points because all of these skins are not originals. Now moving on to number 2, this is the spot I'm most nervous for, but I'm going to actually put it to Season 2. So I'm really sensing that I'm not gonna have a good time trying to argue these next 2 points, but let's give it a go. Okay, I love Season 2, and I have to be extremely brutal. But first, let's talk about what it did right. So most importantly, it was the first ever battle pass, and I do have to give it some points for that. But also, if we're going to value the fact that Season 4 had great dances, we have to consider the fact that Season 2 added dances into the game, apart from the original default. Even if you don't want to give it credit for being the first battle pass, that deserves a lot of points. You also got some of the great dances like the Worm, Ride the Pony, and Floss. And then you have 2 skins which are both of the top 25 range. Sparkle Specialist being probably like 25 itself. Not one of the greatest skins to ever be added into Fortnite. It's really clean, it's really fun, but there is definitely some nostalgia going on there. But you do have the Black Knight, which no matter what you say, nostalgia goggles on or not, I mean, it is a really good skin, especially for the time it was released. I mean, come on. Usually in the top 5 of anyone's ranking list, if not 2 or 1. And again, if you want to pull the nostalgia card, I mean, let's also consider some of the awful stuff in this season. You've got the Blue Squire and Royal Knight, which nobody likes. Okay, if it was just nostalgia, these guys would also be loved, and trust me, they're not. And the only reason people are mad at me right now is because they do like these skins purely based on nostalgia. They're trash. AC/DC, honestly, also a pretty overrated pickaxe. It's just coils and electricity, but there is a lot that's really good with this season. Overall, mostly, I think innovation really takes the cake though. So I know I'm gonna get a lot of flack for putting season 2 maybe so high or not at number 1. Wherever I put season 2, it's gonna be controversial, but I think it does deserve the number 2 spot. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, I can't believe it, but coming in at number 1, it's season 5. So 10 seasons, why does season 5 get the number 1 spot? If I had to say it in one sentence, it would be because season 5 does the least wrong while doing the most right. It's not a perfect season by any stretch of the imagination, but I think it is the closest to perfect we were ever given. Overall, I would say there's only one truly bad skin in this season, and it's Huntress. Given the fact that 2 soldiers were in season 4, Sledgehammer is also pretty unoriginal though. However, you do have some really good skins. Redline, Sunstrider, and Rook are 3 of your classic, basic, yet sleek and great skins. Kind of like a Sparkle Specialist. It's not an amazing skin, it's not one of the greatest, but it's just clean and overall I think really good. But then you've also got what I would say is the best combo for a tier 1, tier 100 progressive skin. See, season 4 introduced progressive skins, but season 5 nailed it. You've got Ragnarok, probably a top 4 for tier 100 skins of all time. Really, absolutely clean. With him though comes a great pickaxe, Permafrost. And then you also have Drift. He's amazing at his base level, he's amazing halfway through, and he's amazing in his fully upgraded stage. He's got one of the greater pickaxes of all time, Rift Edge. And again, overall, I just feel like season 5 is solid. It's just tight. There's no weak points. It didn't really innovate on everything, but I just think it hit everything in a battle pass perfectly. And take this from someone who's been playing since before season 1. I really don't have a lot of nostalgia for season 5. I just truly think it was an awesome battle pass. It may not have had one of the single best skins of all time, but it had a lot of great ones. It really did no bad, and for that reason, it gets the number 1 spot. And ladies and gentlemen, that is their list. This was way longer than I thought, but I gotta say, this was one of the more fun videos I've done in a while. It was fun to just really break each one down and talk about it in a more long form. So thank you to everyone that stood and stayed. Thank you to everybody that stayed all the way through. Again, I don't know what's going on with sub purges, but if you guys could please subscribe for the love of God, help my channel out, that would be awesome. If you already subscribed, leave a like. I'll talk to you guys later. Peace. Just because it's a battle pass. Dang it, I fucked it up. They're just multivitamins, so it's not a big deal, but 8 multivitamins later, I am health.